City. It's in. And again, Warren Spink has a hand in it. Andrew Zinni scores the goal. Not only are the fans winning on the terraces, the team are winning on the pitch. 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2-1 up, Preston Macedonia, and we've got an invasion on.
Comes out with the ball. Berishevic to strike. Oh! What a goal! Get out of here! That is outrageous! No! Carl Berishevic! Get around him! Writes his name in Preston folklore!
Cvetkovski, he scored! It's the winner! What a great goal by Cvetkovski! The crowd has gone wild, ladies and gentlemen! The Preston Lions are the Premiership champions!
Skinderovic! Bell! It's there! Preston have done it! Through ball for Spink. He's in the box. Back for Cole. Cole square. Here's a chance for Smith. Smith, yes, it's there. Spink, Cole, Smith. Smith doing the damage. 1-0.
Welcome back. The Lions Den Season 5, and we've got a live audience in the pavilion. Hello, everybody in the audience. You enjoying your dinner out there? We're going to have a meal delivered to us live, I think. Thank you very much, Dan.
They're getting stuck into them tonight.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you want to talk us through the tonight's fare?
You should be able to tell us what these are. Little chips here, mate. It's like kebab meat with cheese in there. And the supporters are coming in the droves tonight, so it's great to see the place alive. And congratulations on the 5th year, mate. It's like we needed a cake. We don't give you a cake here. We'll just give you some food. So happy 5th anniversary on this beautiful show.
Yeah, I mean, it's become a bit of a tradition here on a Wednesday night. Come down, have some dinner at the club, watch some training.
It's full house tonight.
We thought we'd fold the Lions Den into that this season. Soak up a little bit of the atmosphere in the pavilion, get some players down hot and sweaty after they've come off the pitch. And, of course, the real reason why I advocated for this change is so I could have a nice feed on a Wednesday night.
You're here anyway, mate. So I know you're here on a Wednesday anyway, so you just change the day so that you can have a meal and talk as well. So welcome to everyone out there, to all the supporters, and most importantly, thank you for your commitment to this club and to this show and to what you've got installed this year with the media team in terms of game coverage and everything like that. It's critical for us.
Well, if anyone hasn't tuned in before, this is the official Preston Lions Club show. This is the Lions Den. My name is Josh Parrish. Alongside me tonight is the man himself, Mr. David Cvetkovski, the club president, the busiest man at the club. You've got about 10 million things swirling around your brain at any one time. Which of those things would you like to start with? Because we've got so much to talk about.
Yeah, we can just. I mean, it's an incredible place, and as we always say, it's a privilege to represent this club. It's a privilege to be here as the place comes to life. You finish off last year on a high, and this place doesn't stop. What I think we start to miss is the kids. The kids are all back, and we'll talk about all the programs we've got on, and this place coming to life as we prepare for what is a massive 2023 season, both on and off field. It'll be a milestone year in the history of this club. As you know, we talk through our agenda, but a big shout out. I must not forget main man at FNR, David Bozanovsky, who every year goes out of his way to put this show on for us and support our club. He's a great Preston man, and we're very fortunate to have so many good relationships. And it's not just me here at the moment, Josh, sleepless nights. The volunteers, you've been around the ground even just tonight, and the people, I always use this, I'm sorry to bore you, the fabric of our club. We've got people at the front with sanders and painting and merch teams running around, and players, coaches. The junior committee was just in here, and we'll talk about all of these elements as we go through the night. But the efforts, the superhuman efforts of everyone at this club to volunteer, it's a privilege for us as a committee, as president, and everyone out here. The work that they're putting in is phenomenal, and I tip my hat to each and every person out there who comes in here and says, what can I do? How can I help? And we'll go through all that for tonight. Yeah.
Well, we are surrounded by our glorious new merch range.
Yep.
We're going to hear from the PLFC brand team who've done such incredible work. Have turned heads across the country.
Seven, eight males and females who have revolutionised the way this club is portrayed in the external market. Everything from the kids, and I'm not going to steal their thunder. That's their show tonight. So I just want to commend that team of men and women who have so much installed and some so exciting things. So I'm not going to go there. That's their show tonight. But each and every one of you, as you come to the games, come to training, don't forget to say thank you. Don't forget to say thank you, and let's not take it for granted the efforts of these people who are all volunteers. Everyone here is a volunteer, trying to do the best for their club. Some of these guys and girls are spending upwards of 40 hours a week on their projects to make this club the club that it is, and the club is its people, and we have some amazing people here.
We sure do, and we're going to be talking to both of our senior head coaches tonight as well. But I guess we'll start with the juniors.
Yeah.
Big new curriculum sweeping through the club. Our football director, Sasha Ognanovsky, hard at work. We've got a new technical director in there as well. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with our youth revolution.
Yeah, I think it started for us late last year. 240 kids registered for our under-21s trials. So the under-21s team has been aligned to our senior structure, and Cvetkovski and Kukulevski are in there, and are doing an amazing job bringing on the next generation of talent. I think over the last 4 weeks, I think 2-3 boys have played every game in there, ranging from 17 to 18-year-olds. So it's phenomenal for us to be able to play kids and have an impact. But everything from Sash in his role as football director, Dan Girardi as technical director, all the coaches, kids. There's probably over 350 kids here in the first, I think we're week 2 of the kids coming back in line with the school program. There's plenty of room, so if you're out there and you're wanting to come and have a kick in some of the underage groups, please do come in. If you're a female, as you know, we've got come play for free. We're covering the FV registration and licensing fees for girls that come in, so we still have plenty of room. And in some very exciting news for us, and I can confirm this today, I can confirm that the Preston Junior, both girls and boys, are working hard, and we'll be looking at the pre-NPL, so pre-NPL division this year, as we junior NPL divisions for both our age groups. We've advertised and we've communicated that openly, and we're working with the FV, but all our teams will look like they're going to be playing in a pre-NPL competition for those teams that have aspirations to play in the new NPLJ structure in 2024.
Yep.
And as we've advertised, and I think the rules will be that you're going to have to hold the kids that you got 70-75%, and we're very proud of that. I don't believe in the Westfield Shopping Centre model where you shop around for clubs every week to all those parents out there who want to play in championship teams every year. But we're here to build good footballers from ground up, and Sasha is revolutionising that program. We entered into a high performance engagement today, so all the kids will be undergoing high performance training in a professional facility. We're putting the best foot forward in terms of that. But just to the junior committee out there, first time we've put together a great group who I think 70% of that junior committee are predominantly female, so great representation of a diverse group of volunteers working diligently to get that program. So come down, get involved, guys. Bring your kids down. I think the 4 to 6 Lion Cubs programs, mini roos. There's plenty of room. Yep, the older age groups. There's trials and some of that stuff for some of them. But if you're a young girl out there of any age, please come down. The new state league team. State league team. We appointed a new coach today in Peter, and a new assistant coach in Steph out there, and it was great to see that team building nicely. So if you're a girl 16 years above and you don't want to take it too seriously but play in our state league team, they asked me what the expectations were, Josh, today. Half the team have played in championship here. I said, guys, I want another trophy at the end of the year from the state league team. So they looked at me kind of going, shit. But yeah, that's what the expectations are.
Well, that was our incredible women's reserves team last season. There's a stricter age requirement in NPLW.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So it was sort of a heartbreaking thing where they knew that the success of the senior team meant they might not be together next season. So it's so good that we're able to keep the core of that group together, bring on a few new players, and I think it's safe to say that team has the most fun out of any team in the entire club.
You've got, if my numbers are right tonight, 7 dual championship players in the state league team because they won, 7 of them won an under-16s title undefeated, and last year were undefeated in the reserves, correct?
Yes,
in winning the championship.
Yeah, they
They
were.
didn't get beaten. So
Unbelievable.
these 7 girls who are now, they're 22 and have decided, NPL is not necessarily for them. The trials for the NPL 19, I think the makeup of our NPL girls 19 is predominantly 16, 17 year olds and 18, and some of them have actually been getting senior game experience. Dan Foden and Liam Jury have done an amazing job out there with their high performance team. Great season. They're playing again this Saturday morning, so they're at home this Saturday, 11 o'clock I believe in the morning or something like that. So have a look at socials. But the women's program, we will be in there to compete again. We don't shy away from that. We're in the NPLW, which is the biggest league in bar the W League in Australian football, and Dan doesn't take a back step, nor do the girls, and our internationals have started to arrive, and our new American international, I think we pick her up from the airport on Sunday. She'll be arriving. We've got her accommodation and we've got her a job, mate, so she'll be in my local area, and keeping a close eye on her.
That's so good. I mean, Dan was extremely excited when I spoke to him last about the under-19 team and the quality in there. So at the back end of the show when he's coming on after the women finish training, we'll definitely get stuck into that.
Yeah, you speak to them. I mean, I don't take their steam away. They've just done a brilliant job, both them and let's maybe segue into the men's team and the job that they're doing. Everyone from Louie, Sasha, Sinisha. I must also send out a big thank you, an expression of gratitude. We did it in style internally, but Chris Kappa has moved to the side. He's got commitments with his new location down in the Mornington Peninsula, so he's out here tonight. He's out for dinner, and we'll be around here maybe doing some reconnaissance for us. But
I don't think we can truly get rid of him, to be honest.
No, we will. No, you can never. And that's the beautiful thing about this club. Was Kappa's an institution here, 7 years, 2 championships, and a main player. He's still here doing some reconnaissance for us, and Ange will join us next week. He's coming in from the A-League setup over in Adelaide to join us as a assistant coach. He's making the move here, so it's been a good pre-season for the senior boys as they've participated in games, got loads in. I think we've been playing a pretty big squad, as most people know. There of up to 26, 27 boys. A couple of new signings that we'll probably announce. You're not aware even of the new signings yet.
Nobody tells me anything around
here.
Sometimes the supporters ask me who we're signing.
No, I won't tell you tonight, but there was a deadline yesterday, so the NPL men's second division deadline was yesterday, so we had to put our squad in, and we made some last-minute acquisitions, and we'll just keep a lid on a couple of that stuff. But fully fit squad, boys are raring to go. We go to Port Melbourne Saturday for our last real rhythmic hit-out. Great trip in Newcastle, 65 men and women went there to get loads in and just to play in the spirit of the Cup and the community. Great event up there for the community. We were always leaving because of the logistics and the costs of us sending 65 players up. We're the only team to fly in from interstate with the women's team as well. So we planned that for 3 to 4 months of going up and leaving the games wherever we were on the Sunday, which we did. No injuries.
Yeah, very successful hitter. The thing that's got everybody talking, of course, the national second division.
The food.
Well, I mean,
the national second division.
I'm jonesing to get to a break.
The national second tier officially, the N2T.
NST. We've got a
N2T.
N2T. I like it.
N2T at the moment. Yeah.
Well, the expressions of interest are officially open, and I can see you've got a nice thick document there in front of you.
Yes.
Where does the club stand with this? Because we know that things have been bubbling along for a long time. There's been consultations. The club's been involved in the AAFC group, sort of lobbying and speaking with Football Australia for quite a long time about this. Now, they've thrown it open. They've delineated some competition parameters, some proposed parameters about what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Where are we in that process, and do we have more clarity now about what it's going to entail for the club to undertake this?
This process started for us, Josh. I think we first started to build the relationships in 2018-19 with the AFC and the FA. We've been in constant contact with all parties. We've also reached out, and we're in good conversations with other teams, because for this competition to thrive and survive, we need to create good relationships and some rivalries. So there's no surprises for us. There's no surprises. We've done our due diligence. We've been working on this diligently behind the scenes. We've had the right meetings. In terms of the information that came out, and it's public, so all of you, we've published it on our site. The FA has been very open and transparent from our perspective in terms of all of the modelling and all of the requirements. We've been planning and preparing for it. As you saw probably last night's post, we've announced an amazing project team of very capable people who will work towards the key dates. And I get asked all these questions, mate. Everywhere I'm going, this thing seems to be following me. But from a Preston perspective, we will be putting this club and the position of this club in the best position to be considered, based on us also reviewing the criteria and the conditions and making the right decisions for this club. We'll keeping those discussions, as you can see here. The invitation was issued on briefing sessions the 8th of February, which is
Yep.
tonight.
Yep.
So Zach's off at that, and then the 13th of February, Monday, we'll put our first submission in for the expression of interest and pay our money up. We're all prepared and ready for that. And then we've got some time for the closing date. So for the actual submission, it's about 20 pages. Pretty clear, but it's what you'd expect of any type of EOI process. And the team, which consists of some very intelligent people who do this for a living, from everything from Henry Shaw, legal advisor, Lisa Cvetkovski, a globally leading finance expert, the footballing guys in Noam, Sasha, Louie, headed by Mr. Acevski. So he'll chair this group. That's been the plan all along, to keep this club together, to keep the great people here, and Zach will lead that, and we will continue to put our best foot forward. It's available for everyone. I think, as you can see, the shortlist will be worked through March, April, and they'll start their secondary phase in April. So we're hoping I'd heard initially that maybe by the Women's World Cup, but I think it's going to be later in the year. So we've got to prepare everything. We'll be evaluated. We'll get guests here on a regular basis to observe it, and I welcome everyone to come down next Friday night, 17th of February. Last I checked, against Pascoe Vale. We're expecting 5,000 people here, Josh.
It's going to be huge.
It's
that
going to
first
be
Friday
massive,
night
yeah.
back,
and that's our brand, that's our product, and we are privileged and we're honoured to be able to be in this position to have these amazing supporters who just will flow in next week and ready for round one. Any other second tier questions?
I mean, I think it's just important that we get out in numbers for these games, because the first selling point, the top, I guess, there's a lot of boxes that this club ticks, but the first selling point when you talk to somebody from interstate who maybe hasn't been down here to a game, doesn't know what Preston Lions is we have the best fans, we have the most fans.
Yep.
And that is the big selling point. So coming out and showing that strength in numbers over the next few weeks. I mean, obviously, Football Australia has been in dialogue with the club for a long time, but we want to make a statement here and say we want to be part of this thing. We want to put our best foot forward.
It's a compelling proposition, and I don't hide behind the fact I was out with Nick Marcoussis, is a good friend of mine. He's the president of South Melbourne. We grabbed a bite. It's the best banter you've ever heard, Josh. Hopefully no one ever records the banter between the two of us, but as I say, I want to play South Melbourne. I want to have 9,000-10,000 people here, and I want to go down to Lakeside and have another $9,000-10,000. So South can do well at it. We do well out of it. We need good rivalries here, and whether it be here, Sydney, Adelaide, Brisbane. We've already started to talk to we're very fortunate. We've got a charter partner who we could probably fill 2 planes, one with the players and one with supporters, and offer packages. Well, that's how advanced we are in our conversations and our planning. One of the planes is red. It is actually red, and if anyone wants to see the photo, it's easy to put a logo on it. How cool will that look around? But football needs to be healthy, and this league can't just be about the top 6, 7, 8 teams. It's got to be about the whole league and us bringing something to this ecosystem so we all survive and thrive. And so that we as a club are renowned. If we go to Sydney, we have, maybe 5,000 people, the community in Sydney coming. And if one of the teams from Sydney comes here, or from Brisbane, their followers in Melbourne come down. That's what it's about, because as they come through the door and we stick to our 5 key pillars of game day experience, the sponsors will come. This stuff, merch, is going through the roof at the moment.
Yeah.
Memberships, events. Every club can then start to build a model and a platform similar to what we have and other clubs have. But we can't play against clubs with 50 people or 100 people coming. We need some rivalry out there, and we need healthy rivalry, and we need good relationships, and we're working astutely to make sure that we're speaking to all the clubs, and that's just the way it'll be.
Do you have any thoughts on the ambition of the model that's been set out by Football Australia? Because it caught my eye. 10 to 16 teams, 24 to 36 games in a national competition.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty ambitious, and there's sort of a fallback, I suppose.
I think it's a good range. It's a
Champions
good range.
League style comp that could, if they don't get enough interest for the truly national league, you could scale it back and do something smaller. But I'm glad that they've set the bar high on a lot of fronts.
Oh, I think we've got to make sure this product's successful, whether Preston's in it or not. Hoping we clearly are. But for the clubs that entertain it, we've got to get in there for the right reason. I think the criteria is accessible and built for purpose. So if we're looking at, I think it's going to land at about 12. I think it's going to be around 12. It'll be, how many expressions of interest do you think there's going to be? You're an astute football person. I say 30, it every show.
Probably 30.
Nah, you won't get 30, mate.
No?
Nah. Good luck if you get 30. FA would be really happy.
Yeah.
I don't think you get 30. I think it'd be 20-ish. 20-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. Realistically, when you look at the criteria and the clubs and the infrastructure and supporter bases and your history, you've had a good read of it.
Yep.
History, contribution to football, and then there's the economics.
Yeah.
There's the economics. You can't build this economics on less than 100 people attending your ground. Yeah. That's the reality of this, and I think the clubs will start as they're going through this. We are very fortunate and blessed to have the ecosystem we have here of great supporters coming in mass, and we know the challenges. So I'm just trying to be realistic about it, and I think there's some really realistic presidents out there having some good, robust conversations, asking each other. I've probably fielded 2 calls in the last 2 hours. Hey, what do you think? What do you know? Because they're trying. No one wants to stuff their club up.
No,
we've been there. I'd rather not go in it. Yeah, right. We'll be patient. We still have aspirations. We'll aspire to be NPL1 and get in it later if that's the case. But you can't sell the farm.
Yeah,
you can't sell the farm
because these are community assets. Yeah,
absolutely. And there's a community club. Ultimately, you know what? We'll sit in here. I've done it already. We had a supporters forum and we had the AGM, and we went to the supporters and the AGM and the members and said, "Hey guys, these are the facts. What do you think? And just give us an idea. Should we keep progressing?" Unanimous.
Yeah. And
they'll make the decision because this is a members-based club. No one individual, no individual company will ever own Preston. This is the members and the supporters club, and will always be so, as long as we've got capable people running it. It always has been, always will be the people's club. It's Preston Macedonia Soccer Club, or Preston Lions Football Club, as we're known, and patented. We patented them. Henry Shaw's been patenting all our things.
Excellent.
It's good.
About time.
Yeah.
Any other housekeeping to tick off?
We can go in infrastructure. I think 3 things that we always talk about, infrastructure, guys, and we'll get asked all the time, is how the ground's going. We've got a seeding program on a couple of grounds. The biggest thing I'm going to talk about, the concrete.
Yes.
We've got concrete. Massive shout out to and Get Better. He's had a little bit of a op today. I hope he's watching Big Dragon from Lions Pumping. Took it upon his big shoulders and going, hey, We need to fix the concrete up there, so I think we've got room for another 300 standing supporters, if not 500 in the top corner, which will give us capacity to over 2,000 undercover here.
That's the rowdy section.
Yeah, the rowdy section. So we're probably going to put some food and drink up there.
Lovely.
The concrete pads in the bog areas will be, and then a big shout out to Big Alex from Bali Inspirations, guys. He's helping us out with texture, so to Bali Inspirations, who's giving us the synthetic lawn to put on top. So these are great people helping us with everything around the concreting, the grounds. There's shops coming in, so we've got a new merchandise shop being built, and a new canteen being built by Mr. Sasha Cvetkovski, mate. There's nothing he can't do. Last week he was picking up chickens for us. This week he's going to his carpentry skills, installing windows, and we've got Waddle out there painting, and just help Johnny out there, and a lot of boys and girls helping get things ready for round one. So please be patient. Round one's going to be big. There's going to be crowds. There's going to be probably lines. Be patient, guys. Work with us. If you have to wait, if you can pick up some rubbish, it'd be nice. Abide and respect each other. Get in early, guys. You know it's going to be shockers outside. Don't park across other people's parking. But most importantly, read the information in the next week that we're going to post up on socials around game one. So all the specifics we're going to have to post, because there's a sponsors function in here. It'll be exclusive to the sponsors in the pavilion. The pavilion club members will enter through a different gate, and we're going to have a fair few cash zones for food and drink for round one, plus merchandise. So we're going to try and create a little bit of flow, but we're not Etihad, as I always say, and we're not MCG. So please be patient, because these people here are coming to work or volunteer for your club. And I would be absolutely, I'm going to use the word pissed off with anyone that is not respectful to any people here. The front gate, first time we've got scanners installed, so we're going to be scanning everyone out there. So make sure you got your relevant tickets and memberships and the right year of your membership, because if you don't and you're trying to get in with an old membership, we'll work out whether you actually get in or not. That's not the Preston way, guys. That's cheating, and you're just ripping the club off. So we'll make sure
everyone's pitching in.
Got the right scanners and do the right thing.
I have to ask, scoreboard?
Yes, I knew you were going to get to that scoreboard. We have made progress after 3 years. Oh, Jesus, we've made progress. So we've finally managed to identify Rob Acevski's on this, with some help from Nick and some others, and Iggsy from Electrical Connectivity. We found a conduit plan. We will be either running the electricity in the conduit or digging it out to the main generator. So we've got working with Zinfra to now endorse the power. The good thing is that we've got a seeding break for 3 to 4 weeks between round one home and round 4 or 5. So we will make every endeavour to give Iggsy. It's not just electricity. He's going to need some time to program the panels and stuff. So maybe we make round 2 at home, or the second, round 5, the second home game, a big scoreboard lighting night.
Light up the night.
We'll
workshop it with the brand team.
Yeah.
We'll
the brand team, they're brilliant. And I think our theme song for the year of the players coming out this year will be Welcome to the Jungle. Guns N' Roses.
Love it.
Guns N' Roses, but they're going to have some other surprise, so I won't let you out on everything. They wouldn't have mentioned the Guns N' Roses thing, because that's just a song. It's not merchandise and stuff like that. So covered that. So I think scoreboard is coming, guys. Be patient with us. We've waited 3 years. We want to get it right, and we don't want to hurt anyone or do the wrong thing, as we've had to navigate the myriad of safety, electrical, and council issues that we've dealt with. Trust me, I wanted it on 3 years ago, but that's how it is. Yeah.
The brand boys are keen to join us, but before we go,
2 more things. Last things, guys. Members, guys. This club exists on our members. We will be assessed on our members. If you're a Preston person, grab your membership. I think memberships round 1, there will be a stand outside. Don't wait till the last minute, guys. 7:30 of a 8 o'clock kickoff. You're probably not going to be much left here, so we'll probably open the gates at about 5 o'clock, 5:30. We'll share that. Get in early, because there won't be car park for miles to go, although we're trying to work on some solutions. We're going to probably sell out of most things, so don't come here at 8 o'clock, 8:05, pissed off that you can't get a membership. That's unrealistic, guys.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying our best as a club. And I'm going to save the biggest for last. To every Preston sponsor out there, past, present or future, you are the lifeblood of the club. The response we have had in the last 2 weeks from our sponsors calling, new people calling has been phenomenal. If you're a sponsor out there, please call us. Call me. You can get my details. You can email us, be it paris@plfc.com.au, our new ops manager who's absolutely doing a brilliant job, or david@plfc.com.au. Please email us. We'll get your package. We'll get your banners and all the packages up for the second home game. There's still plenty of room and space on the juniors, but the sponsors have been absolutely phenomenal, and I know there's some more out there. So if you're a sponsor and you want to get your logo around the ground and on socials, next week we're going to start with all the social media coverage of the sponsors on FNR and game day.
Yep.
So please, to all the sponsors out there, jump on board, because we need every ounce of you if we're going to fulfill the dreams and aspirations of this club. So
Now's the time.
now's the time, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr.
You enjoy your
President,
meal?
I will wolf down as much of this delicious Wednesday night tucker as I can during
I'm
the
going to
break.
go. I'm going to get one, mate, over there. And
Dave Cvetkovski, thank you
down.
so much
Pleasure.
for joining
Have a
me.
good one.
We're going to talk
Take
to
care.
the brand team on the other side of this break here
Have
on
a
the
great
Lions
show.
Den.
You're listening to the Lions Den on FNR Football Nation Radio.
Welcome back to the Lions Den here on FNR, Football Nation Radio, and on the Preston Lions Facebook page. This is the official Preston Lions Club show. My name is Josh Parrish, and I'm joined by two representatives from the brand new PLFC brand team. Dan, Adrian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so good to have you guys on because you guys have been hard at work designing and executing all of this glorious merchandise that you can see all over the table in front of us and behind us. I mean, let's start with the kit designs, Adrian. Talk us through some of the inspiration for it, because they've made a real splash, not only in Victoria and in the Melbourne football scene, but internationally as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Pretty overwhelmed by the response that we've had with the kits. Discussed with Dan and a lot of members of our other team that, we we're very confident in what we could create would seriously make some noise. And yeah, I guess, the home and away kits are derived from previous kits of the past that were once made iconic through the club, and a lot of the supporters that what they can resonate with is through the design itself too as well. So I guess it's just a matter of just combining one element being the club's history, and then the other element being a sort of more of a streetwear fashionable aspect that I think that people can wear beyond sort of game day, because as you know yourself, and Dan's one of the biggest kit nerds I know, which is great because we bounce a lot of ideas off each other. As you know, like the landscape's it's just skyrocketed and changed in the sense that people want to wear their kits within the streets and beyond game day too as well. It wasn't sort of rocket science. It's just a matter of just combining those elements, and then next thing you know, they come out really, really good. So I'm very, very happy with them, and so is the team. And we obviously collaborated with a lot of our people within our internal team and got their feedback on what worked well, what didn't work well, and just what you see right now is what you get. And other than that, we've got a lot of noise from a lot of publication overseas in Italy and throughout a couple of podcasts too as well. So I guess that's pretty much it for the kids too as well. So
yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan, what's involved in making these come to life and actually getting these manufactured? Because it's one thing to come up with an idea, it's quite another thing to actually have the physical thing there in front of you.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think Adrian would agree with me that this is about 4 to 5 months of planning that we'd have to go through. So obviously the club goes through an off-season in September, but we probably got a couple of weeks off, and then we just started getting to work on firstly obviously on the kits, and then so we went through certain stages of different designs, and we voted on it as a committee and as a brand team. Then obviously we go to our supplier, Kovo. We go to them, we speak about the design, whether they can and can't do it, what works, what doesn't, and like Adrian said, I think we've nailed it. I'm actually pretty stoked with how they've turned out, and like you said, we've even had people purchase them internationally as well, which is amazing. It's a first for this club, and I just can't wait for round 1 to see the boys actually out there wearing them, and then round 1 for the women and see them wearing them as well.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty special.
Yeah,
and it's not only the kits as well. We've got the entire streetwear range in front of us. Do you want to show off as you talk me through some of these designs?
Yeah, so this was a design that Tony Demoski, who's also part of our brand team, who's solely responsible for a lot of these designs. I mean, as I said, it comes from sort of the club's history and just the previous merchandise that they wore. And I think, for us, that the big message being, tapping into the culture being a big thing, and also incorporating into a sort of a fashionable aspect, no different to the jerseys, was sort of a key element for us. And as I said, I think these stuff resonates with the supporters so well, and it's sort of, in a sense, what sort of gave the club its notoriety. So I guess it's just going back on past designs and then revisiting a few ones and just tweaking them a little bit. And also, I don't think that you have to keep it strictly within sort of the soccer landscape. You can sort of go around the world and look at different codes of sports, be it basketball, AFL in a sense, and it's just you see how they develop their brand and what they're also doing beyond the game day, and how they're really sort of collaborating with a lot of sort of other companies and local businesses alike, and just sort of just coexisting and creating this product that people really worship. That was sort of the goal for this. So as you said, these designs are just stuff done from the past that were tucked away, and now they're out and about, and it's great to see. It's really good to see the men and women wear them across the pre-season and provide, really get some colour within the stands too as well, which is great to see. I guess that's probably
I mean, Dan, do you want to add to that or?
Yeah, like when I jumped on merchandise last year, and obviously due to COVID restrictions, we were sort of a little bit limited in what we could do. And then this year we sort of had a clean slate. And I said something to myself that I wanted this range to be Preston proud. So I wanted Preston people to be proud wearing this range, not just at the club though. If they're going for lunch for a coffee, like Adrian mentioned, we wanted it almost to be streetwear as well. So if you go into the shops, we want people wearing Preston. We want them out there.
And you want the designs to reflect the passion that people have.
Yeah,
100%,
correct.
yeah.
So, and I think we've obviously we're a club of Macedonian heritage, but we've also I think with the range we've expanded it to anybody can be a Preston person. You don't have to be Macedonian to be a Preston person, and I think that's shown within the range from our summer range to our winter range, which will be launching soon. And yeah, I just hope that we've made people proud that are part of this club and that have been part of this club, and I hope people who come in on round one and beyond are also proud to be wearing this as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen some of the merch sales come through across the pre-season games have been strong, not only in person but also the online store.
Yeah.
What's the best seller so far? What is flying out the door?
Jerseys, obviously. Jerseys are up there, but one of them that this gentleman designed. Unfortunately, I don't have it here. Sorry.
I wish we did.
Yeah. So sorry, got caught up with work today. But we call it the Varsity Tee. It's online for everybody who wants to go have a look. Basically, I'll let Adrian tell the story in more detail, but he just managed to find it in a newspaper clipping of Peter Dacos in a photo of him back in the Preston Macedonia days in the NSL. And then he came up to me and he's like, I've got this new design. I said, yeah, no worries, show me. And I looked at him and I go, man, how did you figure that out? and then literally, but the crazy thing is it's this big newspaper clipping and he's just got this little corner of this design there. I don't know how he spotted it.
So you're part graphic designer, part historian at this point.
Yeah, I would say so.
Club archaeologist.
He's stepping on Chris Turpos' toes, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess as just to touch on earlier, the club has such great history that a few others have, and it'd be wrong for us not to sort of tap into that, And I think that when I sort of came across that design, albeit my mother goes on about the Macedonian marvel on a regular basis, much like a lot of the other Macedonians. But so I saw a newspaper article of Peter Dacos wearing the retro Macedonia t-shirt, and it was only half sort of cut, and I just looked at it and said, well, it's probably not hard to just look at what you can sort of create from the other side, and one thing led to another, and showed Dan, and it's been a really good seller. So and it's great to see because, as I said, those designs of the past that people within this club can resonate with, it's really great to sort of see that out and about now, and it's almost like I call it like unlocking memories in the sense of when they see it, they think, oh, I used to wear this back in the 80s and 90s, and my uncle, when he saw it too as well, he was going crazy for it too as well. So it's good to actually see that response, do you know what I mean? So, I honestly can't from the team that we've created and what we're sort of doing and moving forward, we collaborate on a hourly basis, I would honestly have to say. It's just always active, it's just never stopping, but I wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair. It just, it helps the flow, keeps the activity up, and you never know what you might create, As I said, same thing with the varsity tee, you see people sending in pictures a picture of Dacos in the article, and one thing led to another, and it's become a hot selling item. So
fantastic. Can't wait to see the fans and those at the games, and they're flying out through the online store as well. So you've got a new merch stand coming.
Yeah, we
must be excited.
Yeah, I am very excited.
To have a roof over your head.
Yeah. I shades of Ballarat City at home last year when it was raining and it was peeking through the holes of the marquee that we had. So it's a welcome change. We were actually working on it tonight, sanding it down, getting some undercoat on there. And then we're going to have a gentleman, John, apologies I don't know his last name, but he painted our grandstand. He's going to come through and paint that container for us as well.
So it's a converted shipping container.
Yeah. So I do have to say thank you to Sash Rognanovsky for organising the container, and massive thank you to Michael Acevski who has come here out of his own time today to sand it down for us and get it ready, primed, and Jimmy Vasilevsky as well, who helped out today. without, like I think Dave touched on it before, without volunteers, and these people, the heartbeat of the club, coming in their own time to help us out. So we're hoping it'll be mainly ready for next Friday. Still got a little bit of work to do, but I think we'll be okay. So I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Adrian, you don't often get involved on the football side of things.
No, I don't.
But I understand that you two have had the opportunity to actually scout a new signing.
Yes. So obviously, we want for the fans. We want to keep it the best to last. So we've got a marquee signing, and we're very proud to introduce Chich and Nina the Lion, our
You want to
official,
just come in here,
our official
please?
club mascot. Turn
There
around so
we
you
are.
can show them.
Unfortunately, Nina's still waiting for international clearance, so she's still on her way.
Now, I mean, this is incredible. We've got a mascot. How on earth do we pull this off? How do we secure Cheech's signature?
Well, Chich wasn't hard to get. We had to bribe him with multiple kebapi, but in the end we got the deal done with a lot of sort of solid negotiation tactics. And and next month he went to another, and he was on a plane and flew right into Steel Stadium. So.
It was a harder negotiation than Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea, to be honest with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Dave was up all night, different hours. It's crazy.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there was complex paperwork to be done.
Yeah.
But,
with
you
Melbourne Zoo as well. Though.
Yeah. I mean, we've never had to have an exotic animals permit for any of our
Just don't tell the
players.
zoo.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all.
okay. Do another spin for us, Cheech. Show it off. Now, you're going to be able to see Cheech at every single home game. So come down, bring your kids. And we've got our first Friday night kickoff, February 17th against Pascoe Vale. Be there because Cheech is going to be there. We'll take a break here in the Lions Den. Adrian, Dan, and Cheech especially, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
You're listening to the Lions Den on FNR Football Nation Radio.
Welcome back to the Lions Den, live from the BT Connor Reserve Pavilion. Josh Parrish here alongside the head coach, Louie Acevski, back for season number 5 on this show. Incredible, mate. Season number 6 for you at the club, is it?
7.
7. Bloody hell, mate. You're part of the furniture now.
Yeah, I think so. No, it's been a good ride. It's been a good journey, and as I keep saying, it's when it's your own club, it's a beautiful place to be.
So you're fresh off the training track. We really appreciate you making time tonight on a training night. But I think the boys are training more professionally and harder than ever. It seems as if the intensity and just the approach has gone up another notch this season.
Oh, look, I'm not too sure about more professionally or anything like that, Josh. I think
It just seems like everyone's really switched on. From the limited amount of training I've seen, it just seems like everyone's really dead on focus.
No, look, that's definite. The boys are switched on. They're working really hard. Attitudes are great. The intention is phenomenal in trying to get what we can get out of training, what we need to work on. So, when you're working with boys that are disciplined and as I said before, their attitudes are spot on. The application's there. So you can't ask for more than that as a coach. And, it's credit to them. I think mid-November we came in and they've been working really, really hard. So, look, it's going to be a battle for positions, which is great. It's a good headache to have as a coach, and but the most important thing, it's a lot of unity in that change room. The boys get on really, really well, and it's always difficult when you bring in 12, 13 new players, half a squad that's brand new, and so the existing boys need to find out who the new boys are, and vice versa, find all their feats, and so to speak. But no, look, boys have been absolutely brilliant.
I mean, how do you, I guess, reinvent a championship-winning side? You've done it a couple of times now, recruiting new players, getting them to gel. Is there a bit of short-term pain for long-term gain in that sense when, you've had this group that's gelled together so well, won a title, and then you have to go up a division and go out and recruit again?
Look, the good thing about us is, I think it was about 10 or 11 players from last season's squad have stayed together. So they know what to expect, they know what to give, they know what the ambition is, what the drive is, and they're carrying that forward. They're lifting the other boys, the new boys to come in. So there's no trick to it. It's just trying to bring in the right characters, the right football talent, and it will come together. You believe in the process, and the process, you always work on what the boys are good at. You try and nullify the opposition team and try and score more goals than the opposition team. So, and everybody's happy.
How much of an emphasis do you place on results when it comes to pre-season? Is that at all what's important? Is it like they're a different training program, so you're not expecting the performances to quite match up with what they will be during the season? How do you I guess, assess pre-season performances when, I guess, what you're trying to achieve is a little bit different to obviously when round one comes around?
Yeah, look, pre-season's it's a different beast. We need to get them fit, we need to get them sharp. Some weeks they'll train a lot more than other weeks in pre-season, depending on where the loads and the cycles are. So we'll go into some practice games and the boys are really, really heavy and they're feeling it in their legs, but that's just part of the plan and the structure. Realistically, it's, again, hasn't really altered from the last few years. Maybe this year's pre-season's been a little bit tougher than usual. But again, we're planning for round one. That's from the first moment. We're planning in, bringing the best to next Friday night. And that's whichever way the plan is, from the strength and conditioning coach to what Sash wants to put in the park, and in relation to drills and his thoughts and theories and the way we're going to beat opposition teams. And so we all play our part in it. And long as I keep saying, as long as the boys' attitudes are where they need to be, it will come together.
Absolutely. I mean, talk us through the, I guess, thought process behind what we did on Saturday with the double header.
We've had a few questions about that. Look, so we've got 24 senior players in the squad. When you're playing one team, you play one game, and then there's no point playing 45 minutes. Butka is being an idiot like it is. Playing 45 minutes.
Butka doesn't care that we're live on air.
He doesn't care. No.
He's on the phone.
Yeah, standard for Butka. Playing 45 minutes each person with 2 weeks before round one is not ideal. We're trying to get as much minutes as we can in the leagues. So we decided that, we'll play two teams and get, 12 players playing close to as many minutes as possible, and obviously game two. So, if you were at the facility on Saturday, you could see that both Sydenham and Caroline Springs, George Cross rotated their players. So 45 minutes, etc. They're rotating players, they're fresh, etc. But I believe that we got a lot out of that game. The boys were feeling heavy. They felt that 90 minutes, because on this ground, 90 minutes is like playing 110 minutes on another ground. So
there are acres of space out there, and you got to have the legs to cover it.
Correct. So look, I definitely believe that will benefit us. And that was the theory and the thought process behind it.
Yeah, I mean, a word on Kappa, Chris Capone, and his contribution, because he's had to step away from that assistant coaching role due to just pure logistics of having to drive too far from his new place. I mean, obviously he's still around in bit part roles, and I've even talked him into potentially making some cameo appearances on co-commentary,
Okay.
which could be fun or could get us taken off the airwaves.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, just a word on Cap and his involvement, what he's contributed over the last few years.
Yeah, he's worked with me for the last 5 years. Caps has, so he's been a great servant to the club. He's, as he says, Preston's in his heart as well, and he's done the right thing by the club, and the club's done the right thing by him. Fortunately for him and his family, they've moved to the beach down the peninsula, but unfortunately for us, it's a big track. It's 2 hours one way, 2 hours the other way, and work and life and family. Very hard for him to commit. So, he decided to step away, and obviously enjoy his family time and where he is. But look, he's been phenomenal at the club, and the way he's helped and what he's done and the way he's gone about his business has been, 5 stars, so to speak. So, he'll be missed. But we need to get on with it and do what we need to do.
Do you think you'll still be a confidant on a Saturday or a Sunday morning after a game when you're looking to bounce an idea off somebody?
Yeah, look, he's here tonight somewhere. He's coming for a meal, that's for sure. He's in the crowd. He watched training, and he'll just dissect the training session, pick it, and I'm sure a text message will come out tonight or tomorrow or something like that to both Sash and I. But look, one is a close friend, and two, he's got a great football brain. So if he can see something and picks it up, we'll always ask the question, see what he thinks, and the rest of it doesn't matter who it is, for that matter. And if he can add his 2 cents worth and help the boys win the game, we'll all definitely take it on board.
So we've got a new recruit on the coaching staff to step in for Kappa. Do you want to tell me a little bit about him? Yeah,
look, Angelo Paul is an Adelaide boy, 26 years old, very young when it comes to coaching, but the gentleman, he breathes the game, he lives for the game, and he's been at Adelaide United in the youth system in those programs. He's been at Adelaide City, he's been assistant coach to the men's, he's been coach of the women's team in Adelaide City, so he's done his apprenticeship in that regards and a bit more, and his analysis of games is phenomenal, and someone at that age that lives for the game and breathes it 24/7 is always going to be an asset. So, we're looking forward for him to come in. He comes in next Wednesday, the 15th of Feb. He'll play his part with Sash, and they'll start taking the sessions together and putting their own little spin on it again from a different perspective, not just hearing my ugly voice every time. So, really looking forward to Ange coming on board. He's excited and we're excited.
I've heard he's got a detailed eye for the video analysis and that sort of thing.
Yep.
The deep dive, the breakdown. Yeah,
that's what he specialises in. That's what he likes doing. And we've given a couple of games. He's broken it down and he's spotted exactly what we've seen and the way we want to go about things. So, when you bring someone on board, you've got to give him full trust, and that's what he's going to get from myself and Sash and the club. We'll give him the freedom to experiment, just expand his knowledge as well, and learn the Preston way. If he doesn't fit in the family, then he'll get a kick in the arse, so to speak. But no, look, we've met him a couple of times, I speak to him regularly on a day-to-day basis, and he'll definitely fit in.
Round 1, Pascoe Vale, kind of an ideal fixture to have. I think it's going to be a tremendous. I mean, it's sort of a derby if you look at where CB Smith is. It's just over the creek.
Yep.
What are you expecting from that game, both on the pitch and, I guess, more importantly, off it?
Yeah, look, more so round 1 every year is exciting times, and especially when we come Friday night here, next Friday, against Paco. We're expecting a huge crowd. We know our supporters. If you look across Eating and Meals now, it's full house in here, so I'm expecting them to come in droves next week. If we can get 4,000 or 5,000 people here singing and chanting and the passion come into it, I keep saying it drives the boys. It just it gives us so much energy. So call out to everybody. It's just the usual. Let's not drop our standards off the ground. Let's make sure we come here in numbers, in droves, making sure we bring our friends, our families, new people, bring everybody on board. We're driving to achieve the top. Doesn't matter what league we play on, and we need those boys, and we need the supporters, we need our members coming on board and all the sponsors. So I look forward to seeing them there next Friday night. The football game, pre-season is always different to round 1. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be nerve-wracking, it's going to be intense. As long as we win the game, I'll be happy, Josh.
I mean, Paco, they're a handy side. They
Yep.
were in the mix for promotion to the top tier last season.
Yep.
For the sort of final few weeks didn't quite go their way. There was a particular game I remember in the last few weeks of the season with the last minute winner that went in against them. I think it was against Moreland City.
I was there, yes.
Which essentially decided that race. So they're coming back with a vengeance. So they're going to be a stern test.
Yeah, look, their coach, Alex, is a really beautiful person. He's a really smart football brain.
Yep.
They've got some nice people there. Lou Turner, the president, is a gentleman, so we can always pick up the phone and have a chat to him, and vice versa. And as I said, we've got some good relationships there in relation to mateship, but that stops and finishes as they walk into the gate next Friday night, and may the best team win.
Absolutely. Louie, one more before you go.
Yep.
The national second tier, I've got to stop calling it second division, but N2T, the EOIs are open, it's official. You're part of the working group on that one, the team N2T here at Preston. Are you excited just as a passionate football person in this country to see this thing actually get off the ground?
I keep talking about it, I've been talking about it for the last 2-3 years. Australian football needs a B-League, or whatever you want to call it, second division. Why? You need your clubs like your Preston Lions, you need your clubs like your South Melbournes, you need your clubs like your Melbourne Knights, Sydney United, Sydney Olympic, Marconi, because we will bring 5,000-6,000 in boutique stadiums full week in, week out. You don't want to go to a game and there's 500-600 people there. You want excitement, you want passion, you want hunger, you want love. Yeah, we can bring that to the party. And Australian footballers, unfortunately, there's a couple of clubs in A-League, that bring the supporter base, but it's a bit of a dying breed at the moment, and it needs some excitement. It needs a pro and relegation system down the track when it's ready to be able to handle that. But again, you talk to people and they're starved for passion in this game. They're starved for it, and they want to see it. Do I want to see it? I'm a lover of the game, so of course I want to see it. We got together last night. We spoke about it briefly, about the steps and where it's going, and the time frames, etc. Expression of interest, we've expressed it many years ago.
We've been expressing interest for 5, 6, 7 years.
Spot on. So do we want to be a part of it? Of course we do. And again, it's something that the game needs, and Preston needs the second division. I believe the second division needs Preston. Australian football needs Preston, and so on, like the rest of the clubs that I said. So hopefully, when we can put a strong competition together and we can be a part of it, and play our part, and rejuvenate the game where it needs to be, and not just supporter-wise as well for the passion, but the young boys. Where they've got only a certain amount of A-League clubs. Can we give them an opportunity in the B-League?
Yeah.
Can we blood a few younger boys through? Back in the day, the National Soccer League, the National Youth League was there, and the Victorian Premier League, and there were steps there. But now it just feels like there's a bit of a break. There's NPL 1 and A-League, and that break, and A-League teams that keep...
You see so many young players, they turn 22 or whatever it is, and they can't play for the NPL side anymore.
Yeah.
So they just drop off the radar, and some they give up football, a lot of them.
Look, they get disheartened because, A-League clubs, they keep regurgitating same players from one club to another. They keep jumping, and I understand that. I was a footballer back in my day. I understand that these players want to play at the top level, and clubs are a bit, the risk factor. Do we go find someone that's unknown in this league or this standard, or do we bring someone else in that's been here? I understand where they're coming from, but sometimes you need to bite that bullet and just go, let's give a young kid a go. Let's see what's going to happen, and there's no relegation in it. Can we blood someone in? Can we bring some excitement here? Because we need some more excitement, I watched Tillier at Melbourne City, a really, really good footballer.
Yep.
We need to unearth 10 of them a year, not one every 5 years, I'm sure Graham Arnold will be happy if we can do that as well. So for the better of the game, the B-League definitely needs to start. It needs to start ASAP.
Well, we've got another friendly coming up Saturday.
Yeah, we play Port Melbourne at Anderson Reserve, I think it's called, something like that, on Saturday night at their ground. Seniors kick off at 6 p.m. Reserves kick off after us at 8 p.m. Should be a really good hit-out for both them and us. They're a good team, one of the most organised and structured teams that I've seen play in the NPL for many years. Adam Pitting's got them really organised. So it's going to be a good test for us. But again, we're going to go in there and try do what we need to do and prepare for the round one for next Friday night.
That's the big one. Friday, 17th of February. Get down for Preston versus Pascoe Vale and get down early. Louie Acevski. Thanks, mate. Appreciate your
Pleasure.
time and first of many appearances this season on the Lions Den. We're going to take another short break, and on the other side, the women's head coach, Dan Foden, is going to join us, so don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Lions Den on FNR Football Nation Radio.
And we're back for the final time this evening. The return of the Lions Den in 2023. Josh Parrish here alongside the head coach of our senior women's team, Dan Foden. Welcome back, mate.
Nice to be back, mate. Really is.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does. It does. There's everyone here having some food and enjoying the atmosphere, so it's nice to be back.
I think we're going to stick with these lively Wednesday night atmospheres instead of the lonely, cold
Agreed.
locker room late on a Thursday.
Agreed. It's a better atmosphere. Everyone's around. It makes you feel like you're really at a football club. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And what a football club to be at, right?
Wow. Yeah, it's brilliant. I really enjoyed being back. I think we've been back now. We started a bit in December and then came back 9th of Jan, so we've been back a little bit now, but now it's starting to all ramp up. It's nice to be back proper.
Well, the men have got about a week and a half before the season kicks off. Women kick off a little bit later. What date are you working towards?
19th of March, I think, or that weekend, 18th of March maybe.
So where are you at, I guess, in your pre-season process?
Starting to ramp up.
Yep.
So we came back 9th of Jan, which was a little bit early because we thought maybe the season would start a little bit earlier, so we'd already planned for that. We spent a little bit of time in the gym, so first couple of weeks, 2, sometimes 3 sessions in the gym, getting them nice and strong. And now the cardio starts.
So they're a bit tired tonight, I promise you.
Hey, it's a big pitch. We were talking about
they
it before.
need it. They need it, really. I mean, we played here on Saturday and got a win over Essendon, but the kilometres weren't where I would have liked them. So I know that it's about time to get them going.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a step up this season into the top flight and probably a bigger gap to bridge.
Agreed.
When you're talking about, you haven't had promotion or relegation from MPLW in a long time. It's been a closed shop.
6-7 years maybe. Yeah.
Exactly. So how do you approach, I guess, bridging that gap and being competitive against some of these? I mean, some of these teams have packed with A-League women's talent.
They are.
There seems to be almost a slightly ingrained hierarchy at the top of the table of the big dogs.
It definitely is.
How do you go toe to toe with those teams?
Look, it's a process, right? Because we were pretty lucky that last year we had, let's call it 2/3 of an NPL team playing in VPL. So we were very strong for what the competition was last year. That quality of player is capable of playing at the NPL standard. But the players that we've brought in have, I guess, added. They were playing in higher competitions than VPL last year, either interstate or overseas, and sort of they've come in to top up, I guess, the little gaps that maybe we had before. And I guess we've started preparing now for the games like our first couple of rounds with Alamein and Calder in the first 3 rounds. We've really got to, I guess, get ourselves ready to run more, work harder, and if we can do those things, then we'll be competitive. And competitive is, I guess, the goal for me. If we can be competitive in every single game, then we'll get points. We'll surprise a few teams, I think.
I mean, the core of the team is stayed on. We've still got our midfield maestro and Miri.
We do. I think we kept 13 of last year's 18. So, the real core of the group is definitely still there. And I think Liv stayed, Rach stayed, Miri stayed, the Fanua stayed. Bianca and Haley. So there's a lot of players with NPL experience in that group. So.
You're making Haley run this season, I feel.
Yeah. She spent her entire life playing offside, and we've managed to find a way to keep her onside. So it's going to be very beneficial for everybody, except Haley, I think. Although, having said that, I think she scored in every game so far pre-season.
That is counterintuitive. Players in the forward line can't buy a goal until, of course,
the final goal. Yeah, the goal. Yeah.
And now she can't stop scoring.
Now she can't stop scoring, exactly. So. Don't ask me. I don't understand it myself. But no, she's been brilliant in the pre-season, actually. Fantastic. A lot of them have been. We've actually had a good pre-season run out so far. We had a good run out here against South Melbourne in the December, which is obviously very early, and a lot of under-19s from both sides played, and it was a good result. I think we won 3-0 in the end. Nice. And look, both sides probably had a dozen senior players and then another a dozen of under-19s playing. So it was a good hit out for both groups, and I'm looking forward to, I think, Alamein this weekend. So,
talk me through some of the key acquisitions, the big players that you've picked up, and I guess a few names for supporters to look out for, a few new faces.
So we've not announced yet, but I'm probably going to announce now. We signed
a Lions Den exclusive.
A Lions Den exclusive, yeah. We should pop her out on social media in the next day or two. But Mel Camilleri is a good signing for us. She's been around in NPLW since she was maybe 14, so I think I've known her almost 15 years, and she was around playing when my sister was around playing the old VPL back in the day, and so she's come in to bring us a bit of experience, which I think we need, because the group is still quite young in general. Even the NPL girls are still quite young, and obviously young Ellie, Eleanor Jones, she's joined us from AFL actually. She was from Canberra Olympic, I want to say, came down here to play AFL, was playing in the VFL for Carlton, then got a head knock and called time on her AFL career and wanted to come back and play here, and she is just an engine. Honest to God, she's just an engine, really. So it's nice to have people who can do the running, so Miri doesn't have to, because Miri doesn't want to, I promise.
Keep her doing what she's good at. Get some workhorses around her.
That's the plan. That's exactly right. So, And we've also got a couple of interstate girls coming and an international to come still, so they should be all announced in the next couple of days as well. So
I've seen a bit of innovation this season in the fixturing for our women. A little bit. Are we trying the double headers? I know there's some complications involved.
Yeah, so change rooms are a little bit difficult, obviously because the rooms are a little bit small. But I think we've got 4 in the end, double headers, which is super exciting for me because, I think that there's a lot of fans that come to watch the men who will really appreciate what the women do because, we play hard, we play fast, we play attacking football, we score goals. There's some big hits, so we definitely don't take a backward step. And I think that coming to watch us before the men is going to entertain a few people, and hopefully they'll maybe fall in love with the girls group as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a good opportunity. It feels like
it's awesome,
we've moved into prime time here, and
almost,
opportunity to impress.
Almost, yeah. It feels like that.
We've got our band of supporters who are so dedicated following the women's team. Exposing that team to a new audience is going to be really exciting this season.
Definitely,
and
I think
against
the girls
quality
are
opposition as well, and I would dare say a few more competitive scorelines than some of the ones we saw last season.
Yeah,
we had a lot of competitive games, but there were a few blowouts based on the quality of our squad compared to VPL.
Yeah, look, we played the semi-final here, and there was a pretty decent-sized crowd, and I think we won 7-0 in the end. There was a couple of cracker goals, don't get me wrong. I think Miri scored a couple, and I think Rach dinked the goalkeeper, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. So, look, I think last year we were a very good team in a decent competition. This year we're going to be a good team in a very good competition. So those score lines that we were winning 5-6-0 last year will be more like 1-0, 2-1, those sorts of games, and they'll be exciting to watch, I think.
Yeah, I mean, do you have a realistic expectation for this season, or is it sort of going to be, we see what we get when we start playing against these top tier sides?
I don't think you can be at Preston and not have high expectations. I don't think that comes as a rule, right? So, the club haven't given me a specific target, but I know that the expectation is you try to win every game. Yep. So are we capable of that? We'll have to wait and see how we go with the rest of the preseason friendlies and see where we sit. But I think the squad will be competitive and will make it hard for teams to come here. And even when we're away, I think that the work ethic that the group have, it's going to make teams really... maybe change up what they normally might do, what would normally work for them, because we are a really, really hard-working team, and that's hard to play against often. So,
well, I mean, we talk about it possibly too much, but that Heidelberg game last season springs to mind.
Good example. Yeah,
and, made some signings and improvements in the off season as well. So that bodes well.
Yeah, it does. And look, last year, a team like Heidelberg is a good example because that game that we played, I think there's 6 of those players ended up signing for W League clubs. Yeah. So either already existing W League players or players who played well enough to get picked up by W League clubs. So, half of that squad won't be available for the first 6 games. So you take that into consideration. You go, well, maybe we will be really competitive, especially in the first half of the season, and then we'll see what the back half of the season brings. But I think the first half of the season is going to be really important for getting fans to the ground, getting around us, making sure that those first half a dozen games that we get the results that we need.
I wanted to finish by talking about the 19s because there are some promising talents in that squad. I know you're quite excited about some of the players we've got coming through.
I am. I would almost say almost more than the senior group. There's some really, really, really talented girls in there, and committed girls as well. There was a 14-year-old who made her debut for us at Masso Cup, who is exceptional, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her develop. We've got a 16-year-old who drives from Myrtleford, so it's a 3.5-hour drive each way.
I couldn't find that on a map, mate. I'm going to be honest.
It's up past Wangaratta, past Albury, and she drives 3.5 hours each way, and so she trains and plays, so she doesn't just miss training or anything. She 6 hours, 7-hour round trip, 2-3 days a week. So she's another one who actually scored against South Melbourne in the pre-season for us. So she's been very, very good so far. And there's probably, I think last year we had 3 players from the reserves play up in the seniors. This year, if it's less than 10, I'll be disappointed. That's how good that group is.
Wow.
They're excellent, in my opinion.
So are you giving yourself your own little target to...
I'm giving Liam a target. I'm giving Liam a target. The 19s coach, definitely. The pressure's on him, I've already said. There's less pressure on me than there is on him. He's got an excellent group, so...
All right. Well, when's your next hit out?
Saturday morning, actually. Under 19s play at 9 and the seniors play at 11. Obviously at home here, so...
Fantastic. Well, good luck for the rest of your pre-season preparations. I'm sure I'll chat to you very, very soon on this program. But exciting times. Preston in the top flight.
Preston in the top flight. It's going to be a fantastic year for the club and for the boys, and I think definitely for the women as well. So
we'll leave it there for our 2023 return of the Lions Den. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed any of tonight's show, you can, of course, watch it back on the live stream, or we're going to have it up on the FNR podcast platform. So check the feed later tonight for that. And get down, get your memberships, get your merch. I mean, what about this new merch?
Fantastic, isn't
it? Pretty cool.
It's fantastic. Yeah, look, I think the club have done an amazing job. I think we're the benchmark nationally now these days, so everyone else can try and catch up.
That's it. Make sure you get your membership, get your merchandise now, because now's the time to jump on board what's going to be an incredibly exciting 2023 season. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Near post City. It's in. And again, Warren Spink has a hand in it. Andrew Zinni scores the goal. Not only are the fans winning on the terraces, the team are winning on the pitch. 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2-1 up, Preston Macedonia, and we've got an invasion on.
Comes out with the ball. Berishevic destroying. Oh, what a goal! Get out of here! That is outrageous! No! Carl Berishevic! Get around him! Writes his name in Preston folklore!
Cvetkovski, he scored. It's the winner. What a great goal by Cvetkovski. The crowd has gone wild, ladies and gentlemen. The Preston Lions are the Premiership champions.
Skinderovic! Bell! It's there! Preston have done it!
Through ball for Spink. He's in the box. Back for Cole. Cole square. Here's a chance for Smith. Smith, yes, it's there. Spink, Cole, Smith. Smith doing the damage. 1-0.